Books sharpen our brains and are extraordinary sources of information and ideas. The greatest minds of history and also of our time devour books, even in the age of the internet and social media. Billions of books exist on any topic of any kind for anyone. Where do we start? I've put together the ultimate list of the most important books for any student, for whomever wants to explore the learning process and improve his or her studying skills. It's time to read. Oh, one thing, this is not a top 10. The books I'll mention are all equally great. Overcoming Procrastination by Wendy Dryden. This tiny book, this is the Italian version, is a masterpiece of verbal engineering. Most of the problems students face originate from procrastination, the inability to actually stay productive and the tendency to do next week what should have been done today. Procrastination is a trap Wendy Dryden knows very well. So in this book he deconstructed, dissected, analyzed it and presented to us for what it is without wasting a single word, with a clear and concise style. He offers us at the same time concrete solutions to this devastating problem and an interesting insight on how our mind works sometimes against ourselves. I've read at least a dozen books on procrastination, no one compared to this one. How to Win at College. I only have the ebook version of this one, so I'll spin the image instead. This book is quite simple and, frankly, at first glance, even trivial. A list of common sense advices for college students, nothing more. But when you start reading it, you realize those common sense advice have tremendous impact on the lives of students and on their learning process, and suddenly this book becomes a precious resource. Everyone in college should have it and should read it every day. Trust Cal's advices, they're good for you. The 4-Hour Chef by Tim Ferriss. This is the Italian version. Sometimes we identify too much learning with studying in college or in school, but studying is much more than that. It's all around us in our everyday life. We're all students, one way or another. Tim Ferriss is a learning hacker and has a peculiar approach, direct, strategic, fast, and focused on what matters the most. This book is not only a cooking book, it's an example of Ferriss's revolutionary method. It's instructive and also important to understand what learning truly means and how we can learn in creative and counterintuitive ways. A Mind for Numbers by Barbara Oakley. Oakley changed the way in which students learn forever with this book and her course Learning How to Learn. This book is an amazing tool, not only for those who want to learn science and math, but for everyone. In it, you'll find all the most effective and science-based principles for improving learning comprehension and memory. And now, Learning How to Learn by Barbara Oakley. Yeah, I know, it may seem redundant, same author, same subject, but trust me, I'm not being lazy here. A Mind for Number is an amazing book, but it has one minor flaw. It's a bit too focused on theory and not on everyday practice. This book, however, was written for children and adds examples, exercises, metaphors that help us understand even more what Oakley wants us to do. These two books go together and they complete each other, in my opinion. Also, it's the perfect book to teach a study method to a child. Not bad at all. Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. This book changed my life, quite literally. Sleeping occupies 1/3 of our life and is also the most important and most underestimated factor in the learning process. Matthew Walker teaches us everything we need to know about sleep, how to improve our sleep, and why it's so important to do that if we are students. Getting better at sleep is getting better at life, and this is the best book on sleep ever written. Memory by Alan Baddeley. This massive tome is frightening. I know, it contains all the science there is today on memory and learning. It's perfect for the cognitive sciences nerds like I am, but it's also very helpful for anyone, especially the last chapter in which every effective learning strategy is discussed and put to the test. If something works, is in here, with tons of bibliography to support it and further investigate it. It's the perfect book for anyone sick and tired of pseudoscience and voodoo learning strategies that never work in real life. Deep Work by Cal Newport, once again, another one from Cal. Deep Work is the Bible of concentration, a guide to the amazing human ability of focus. Cal Newport teaches us why it's so important to focus in studying, working, and also everyday life, what it means to truly focus, and more importantly, how to do that. In this age of endless distraction and multitasking obsession, discovering once again true focus is an absolute priority. Moonwalking with Einstein, the art and science of remembering everything, Joshua FOER. This is the Italian version. Mnemonics are fascinating, a powerful tool for learning, and even though they're not a magic one for students, they can be extremely helpful. There are better books than this one for learning to use mnemonic tricks, but this one is the most interesting, well-written, and engaging. The perfect starting point. Make It Stick by Peter Brown and the other two. There are things we do when learning without even thinking about, habits developed in years and years of bad studying. This book is important for understanding what truly works and what doesn't. What are the differences between the common way of studying and learning and the best way, according to science, to do that. I think this book is actually amazing, illuminating. Every chapter is full of discoveries and powerful ideas to try out and implement in our own way of learning. And that was the last one of the 10 books every student must read. Let me know in the comment section below if you've read those books, what you think about them, and if you have other books on learning you recommend. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video with all the students that could find it useful. I'm ADC and this was True Learning, with the best techniques and strategies for learning and studying effectively. We'll see each other next week, and till then, read great books.